so early, about 15 minutes later than usual. There's a reason. It's what we're going to talk about today, as soon as Instagram decides to wake up. So give me a minute here. Yeah. Get on with it. There we go. All right. Good morning. Good morning. We'll wait for people to pop in, and I'm going to look and see here. Sometimes some of you text me and say, "What's the matter? Where are you? What's wrong?" Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. In fact, some things are actually right. Ah, yeah, gotta love it. So, good morning. Good morning, Nancy. You're the first one popping on today. That's awesome. Cool. So, we'll give it a minute for the rest of the practical rebels to show up here, and then we're going to talk a little bit about rebellion because it's part of today I called it habit and freedom. And it's coming right out of my overcrowded little brain to share with you. And my hope is that it actually um, gives you all something to think about and talk about with those that are of like mind or are willing. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. Welcome. Or who are willing to have challenging conversations with you. So, yeah, let's start with good morning, Barb. Glad you are here. Welcome. Let's start with an update. Good morning, Jonille. Hello. So we've got the rebels marching into the house. This is good. Um, so yesterday, spent time with my darling granddaughter, who was very serious yesterday. We had far less bubble blowing and babbling than usual, and yeah, it was interesting. But as I was tending to her, I was thinking, things change so fast. Every week when I'm with her, she's different. She's learned something new, she's doing something different. She has more skills, more control over those hands and what they do. And right now they like to grab your face, especially when you're talking. It's like she wants to feel you talking. So, yeah. Anywho, that's a piece of what kind of led to today's conversation. And really, frankly, I wish it was more of a conversation. If we were on Zoom, I would be poking you all to chat about this. So, good morning, Gwen. Glad you are here. Welcome. So, some of you, and maybe it'll come up tomorrow. We'll see. But tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time is our Unity Intention Collective, where we gather on Zoom for a half an hour only. So most people can spare a half an hour to do some good in our world. And what we do on the Unity Intention Collective, is we um, send energy out into the world. We imagine where we'd like it to go, and we set the intention that if it doesn't go there, that it goes wherever it's meant to go. That moving the energy around, it's just like money. Money's energy, right? When we hoard money, it's doing no good. It's doing no good. When we move it around, it has the opportunity to do good. So I'll give you an example. If someone pays me for a series of sessions and I take that money and I pay the car repair place for right now it's the manifold. Um, and then the workers at the car repair place get their paychecks and they go to the grocery store and they buy food and on and on and on and on. Keep it moving around. The flow is good. The flow is good. When we stop up the flow, that's when things get stagnant. Yes, the changes are amazing, including in how much she weighs. My arms are getting like longer and longer and longer. So, and my poor daughter. So, 2 weekends in a row, her significant other, Derek, has been standing up in weddings. So, last week's wedding was in Green Bay. And so there was a fair amount of running back and forth, which is about a 45-minute drive. And then this weekend, yesterday was the rehearsal dinner, which was the practice was at 6 p.m. Scarlett's bedtime is 7 p.m. Last Bubba and into bed she goes. Well, they wanted to meet Scarlett. So they were going to be at a cottage that was like 10 minutes from their house. So Lauren gets them both all dressed up, ready to go, gets all the stuff packed, heads out the door, gets there. It's pushing 7 o'clock. heats up the bottle, no nipple, and no vent. So she had to turn around and drive the 10 minutes home with Scarlett screaming because it's chow time. Where's my chow? And she said, yeah, I didn't get to have any fun. And I'm like, welcome to motherhood. Poor thing. So today, what I want to talk about is habits and freedom. That's what I called this one, habits and freedom. And what I mean by habits, habits are designed to make our lives easier. When we can do things in a habitual way, like when we get up in the morning at the same time every morning, you'll notice I was later today, right? There's a reason for that. When we get up at the same time every morning and we have a routine we go through, it helps us in several ways. A, we don't have to really bring our brain online as much right off the bat. We can take the time, even though we're vertical, to wake up more fully. How many people say, I'm not really there until I have my first cup of coffee, right? It's part of the routine, it's part of the habits. So it serves us in that it can streamline our lives somewhat. It fails to serve us, it stops serving us when we don't periodically revisit those habits and say, is this still serving me? So here's where I came to. I'm 65. How the hell did that happen anyway? I'm 65. And I have been getting up every morning at the same time, unless there's something where I have to get up earlier, not later, earlier, for years and years and years. So last night, as I was going to bed, I thought to myself, why do I keep doing this? I really don't need to do this anymore. So I didn't set an alarm. I woke up at 5 o'clock anyway. I slept in until 6. Oh. The point being, I'm going to become, I now that I've started this role, I'm not sure how far it'll roll. We'll see. But I'm looking at the things that I do in my life habitually. And do I want to keep them? Now that I'm considering myself semi-retired, and when I was honest with myself the other day with one of the questions another coach had posed, what do I really, really want? I want to be retired. That doesn't mean, to me, that doesn't mean not seeing some people, because my view, there's I think he was a social worker, Ofer Zur, who lives in California, who put out an audio tape. That gives you an idea of how long ago it was. But he was questioning the common habit, we'll call it a habit, in the mental health field of believing that we're meant to be a blank slate. As the therapist, we're meant to sit there. They're not supposed to know anything about us, and they project all their crap on us to be worked through. His view was, I never found that very satisfying. His view was, no, we are a walker of the path with them throughout their lifetime. So he was not, and I certainly am not, the person who says, you've got 5 sessions, you better figure it out, and then bye bye, honey. Whatever you need. So if the wheels really fell off and we're getting together maybe even a couple of times a week initially, then we'll taper it down to a week. Then we'll taper it down to every other week. Then we'll taper it down to once a month. Then we'll work for maintenance. What does maintenance look like for you? I have some people who check in once a year. I have some people who check in twice a year. I have some people where we've worked it out that only if they feel like they need a session do they have a session. So it's not we go on forever um, at the rapid pace that we had initially when they were in crisis. But it is the I know Bonnie's there. So if something heavy happens, I lose my job, my spouse dies, I have a car accident, the big hairy stuff, I know where she is, I know how to find her, I can check in, and I can get whatever support I need to get through this thing. Um, and Bonnie will probably remind me of tools that I have in my toolkit that maybe I haven't used in a while and I need to dust off. So it's a different philosophy. And part of that philosophy also is letting people know who we truly are, because we are fallible human beings. I don't, there used to be one psychologist in Green Bay who insisted that everybody call him Dr. So and so. And it was interesting watching the play with people and how different psychologists and psychiatrists presented themselves. There was one psychiatrist, he worked mainly with kids, but he'd show up in blue jeans and tennis shoes because he was taking those kids outside walking. He wanted them moving. He wanted them working with their physiology to improve how they were feeling. There were others that had the three-piece suit and the tie and the whole enchilada. Maybe part of it is different types for different folks, but nonetheless, um, I felt like in that era of my life, I was far more approachable. But I was still doing things that the system seemed to demand. Dressing up every day, pantyhose every day, all the things, right? We're in a different place now. I'm in a different place now. What what is right here, right now calling for? I have an aunt who wore pantyhose till the day she died. That was her. That was who she was. She was a very, I'm going to use the word elegant, dressed up. She had a pink house, for Pete's sake. Yeah. One of those folks. And that suited her perfectly. That doesn't suit me. That doesn't suit me. So, as I'm looking at my habits, the habit of setting the alarm for the same time every day is going to go by the wayside. So, you know how sometimes we're a little bit off of schedule, like Fridays, I'm always way early because I have to go play with my baby. I'm going to wing it now. I'm going to wing it. I'm not setting the alarm. Will I probably wake up roughly the same time? Yes. Will I jump out of bed right away? Maybe not. And there's going to be other things that change as well. Like I was thinking also, I was talking to my um, virtual assistant, Morgan. She's a 30 something. She's got a 4-year old. She's building her business. She's in a whole different place than I am. So we barter. So I coach her and she coaches me. She helps me with the business stuff, blah, blah. But we're in a different phase of life. And so what suits her, she's trying to get more people to watch her stuff, etc. Yes, that's useful. I want the message to get to more people. Do I care how many clicks I have? Not for a minute. Which is also one of the reasons why, years ago, as I was watching the YouTube thing, I was kind of like, ooh, that'd be cool. I'd kind of like to do those YouTube videos where you get sponsorships and all the things. And then I'm thinking, I listen to them. Most of them are younger people. I listen to them. Well, I've got to edit this footage. I've got to have this done by whatever. I need to do this way because my sponsor today is demanding it. No, I'm not there anymore. Forget it. So, what is this going to portend for early morning intuitive guidance? There may be more days where the time is a little bit erratic. There may be more days where um, we're talking about things we haven't talked about, like today. Instead of using someone else's card or their book as the impetus for change, I'll throw up my own stuff. If you like it, fabulous. If you don't like it, there's a bazillion other channels you can be watching. And am I going to take that personally? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm at a specific place in life. Some of you may not be there. Some of you may be in a very different phase of life and you're thinking, yeah, Bonnie stuff doesn't fit for me. Or Bonnie stuff doesn't fit for me anymore. Or, oh my God, now Bonnie stuff really fits for me. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. So, habits. Right now, take a breath. Let it go. Think of the word habit. Breathe in. Breathe out. My habits. Breathe in. Breathe out. In fact, let's do some tapping. Side of the hand. Baby finger, karate chop spot. Repeat after me, please, out loud if you will. I'd like to take a look at my habits. My habits sometimes no longer serve me. What are my habits? Inside corner of the eyebrows. Habits are meant to be helpful. Outside corner of the eyes. But sometimes they stop being helpful. Under the eyes. What's my top not helpful habit? Under the nose. How would I feel about letting that go? Under the mouth. What would it mean to let it go? Collarbone. But what if I don't want to let it go? Under the arms. But what if it's in my highest and best good to let it go? Around the crown of the head. My habits. Take a breath. Let it go. If you're willing, put in the feed which habit popped into mind. Which habit that you have right now that probably at some point did serve a purpose. Maybe it's still serving a purpose. Maybe it's no longer the purpose you'd like to have served, though. Put your top habit that popped into your mind that may no longer be serving you into the feed. Let's see what we get. For me, the one that obviously rose to the surface was the control. There's a habit of control. Yes, thank you, Barb. There's the habit of doing everything the same way every day, kind of a deal. We're going to shake that up. We're going to shake that up. And are there pros and cons to shaking that up? Absolutely. Come on, you guys, cough up your habit. What are you gonna take a look at? Does it mean you have to jettison that habit? No. You may decide, yeah, this isn't serving me, but I'm not ready to let it go. Fabulous. But at least we're taking a look at it. At least we're taking a look at it. Come on, Miss Jo Neal. What habit? Let's see it. Gwen, what's your habit? We get to then decide, is this serving me? If it's serving you in some way, you've got options. Get everything done right away. Okay, good, good, good. Thank you. Take a look at, what can I do with this? What's its purpose? Now, Gwen, with that habit, get everything done right away. My guess is part of that was because if I don't do it right now, I'm either going to forget about it or it's going to get postponed and postponed and postponed, and I'm going to get involved in other things. Is that still true? Let's do a little Byron Katie here. Is that really true? If I don't do it now, I'm going to forget about it. Well, no, I can write it down. I can write it down. I set time limits when I start projects. Yes, yes, okay. So, and in semi-retirement or full retirement, do we really need those time limits anymore? Or is it okay to putter at something? Yeah, I'm cleaning, I'll just pick one that's relevant for me. I'm cleaning out my books. Frankly, folks, that's going to be a lifetime project. But if I pull a couple books out every couple of days, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. So those habits, taking the look at, are they serving me? Are they continuing to help me be the person I want to be? Or are they starting to get in the way? Give me another example. If one of the things that I want, which I do, is to be more social, to have more community, to be more connected. That's the reason I've been harping on this intentional community thing for so long. Oh, and by the way, my friend Susan and I did a podcast with Timber Smith, who works for the city of Appleton, and talks about organizations in the area helping people who are either new to the area or want to learn more about the area know what's out there. So we were on there talking about the Fox Cities Housing Coalition and our Housing Champions program. So we take everyday folks, housing champions, and we ask people to show up at meetings where housing is going to be talked about. We ask people to, do various kinds of things, speak to legislators about housing and how important it is. all the things. And we give them the information. You do like your habit of parking in the same row at Meyer helps you find your car. Yes. Also, I'm just going to mess with you a little bit here, Gwen. If you parked elsewhere, it might force your brain to have to work a little more, getting some of those other pathways going. We always have the, oh shit, I've lost my car button. So eventually you'll find it. We may decide we want to park farther away to get a little more activity in. All the things. All the things. I'm one of those people, I always want to park by the cart return, because by the time I am done shopping, and I don't usually pick a cart return near the front, I usually am out a ways, but by the time I'm done shopping, I want that shit in the car and I want to get out of there. So, and when you park by the park return that's out a ways, you can often drive right through and drive out. So will I now do that every time? No, there's going to be times when I park close, just to mix it up a bit. Feel guilty when you putter on the weekends? No. Be productive. I have to. No, 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 no. Puttering. What does puttering do for you? Mind, body, and spirit. Puttering serves a purpose. Puttering serves a purpose. For me, what puttering does for me is it allows my brain to go offline. And then it becomes its most creative. Then it becomes its most creative. So I'll give you an example from yesterday, which is the turning lemons into lemonade. This could have been a major disaster. Thank God it wasn't. And I was very concerned they were going to be unhappy this happened. And they really didn't care, which is fabulous. I did not realize there was a floor mirror standing beside the bathroom door in the hallway where everybody looked as it, I'd show baby herself, blah, blah. And they'd write messages to each other on the mirror. And it's a big mirror. I mean, that thing has to be at least 6 feet tall. It's taller than I am. So mirror is here. There's a fan sitting right here to blow the air conditioning from the front room into the dining room. So the dog, when I'm sitting on the floor, I was sitting in the rocker. I was sitting in the rocker with baby. Dog loves to bring me a toy, and then I'll throw the toy down the hallway, and dog will run and get the toy and then bring it back to me, and we have a game, right? Well, I misfired. I hit the fan fell over, and the mirror fell over. It was not attached to the wall. Glass everywhere. So I holler at the dog to get on the couch, and he's such a good boy. He listened and he sat there. I think it scared the hell out of him when it hit the floor. Stuck baby in her bouncer, and I started cleaning up glass. I swept twice, I Swiffered once, and I still was seeing areas where there was glass. I couldn't find a vacuum. So I was continually wiping up glass. Took the mirror out to the garage. Well, then I got to thinking, the frame on the mirror is really cool, right? It wasn't an old mirror. It was, the what do they call it? Fast fashion. This was fast furnishings. So, but it's this big gray mirror frame. So when Derek came home, he busted the rest of the glass out of it for me, and I brought it home. It's still sitting in my car. And my thought is, I've got these beveled edge mirrors that are the same shape, but they're smaller. So I'm going to put one of those in the center. And then I think I'm going to put photographs around the edge between the frame and the mirror, or I'm going to like decoupage newspaper in there be kind of cool because it'd be a tone on tone sort of thing, blacks, whites, grays. We'll see what I come up with, but it's going to give me a creative opportunity. So out of lemons, lemonade, we shall see. But yes, I wish to let that go. Yes, yes, yes. So practice, practice. You know this. You're one of us. You know this. Putter. And when the voice in your head starts giving you the chatter, don't fight with it. We know better than to fight with it. It just gets stronger. Thank you for your opinion. I'm going to continue to putter. And then be pontificating about what the puttering is doing for you. Oh, that's cool. It allowed my brain some space to creatively resolve this other issue that's been floating around in my head. Or I'm getting a lot of stuff done puttering. I've made this space beautiful by puttering, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Have to use your keys to find your car. Yes, yes, yes. And with the I want it done now. Good to practice not getting some things done now. Let it go for a bit. See what the critic in your head starts cracking the whip about. You're so lazy, blah, blah, blah. What's happening to you? You're turning into a sloth. Whatever the dialogue or monologue in your head is. Thanks for sharing. I'm choosing to do it different. We are so programmed. Do something different. Hold your car keys in the other hand for a bit. That feels weird. Hold your coffee cup in the other hand. That feels weird. Do something out of order. If you usually do your makeup and then brush your teeth first and then do your makeup. But just flip around some little things. And for those of us getting to be a certain age, this is such good stuff for our brains. Such good stuff for our brains. We want to keep our brains active and engaged. Take a different route to go to work, to church, to your friend's house, whatever. Do some things differently. See what happens. But my hope for today, good morning, Melissa. Glad you are here. Welcome. I need to hear how your mom is doing. Need to hear how your mom is doing. I need to hear how you're doing. One of these days, we need to do a phone call. We need to do a coffee Zoom, girl. A coffee Zoom. So, check in with yourself. Here is our opportunity. Let's shake it up a bit. What in our lives are we just slogging our way through because we've always done it this way? Let's take a look at that. Do I even need to do this anymore? B, if I do need to do this, what am I getting out of it? If I tweak it a little bit, what more could I get out of it? How could it serve me better? Right? Good morning, Brenda. Whatever, whenever, outside time. Yes, yes, yes. Mess it up a little bit. Mess it up a little bit. And you may decide, I don't like that. Or you may have a day where you're very tired and you're like, I just want to go back to the habit. That's fine. That is fine. That's absolutely fine. But as we change things and stir things up and do things differently, if you go to the same restaurant, order something different. If you always, my dad, when we take him somewhere, it's either going to be a Reuben or it's going to be a hamburger with nothing on it. That's all man eats. So stir it up a bit. Try something different. Will you love everything you try? No. No. That's okay. That's good learning. That's good learning. So, hopefully, this inspired you to try some things differently or to drag out your bucket list. If there's stuff on your bucket list that you want to do, we went to Diane's retirement party last night. Excuse me. And one of my thoughts was, now that she's retired, she can make a retirement bucket list. What are all the things she's wanted to do that she hasn't been able to do because she had to WORK? Fabulous. Let's start chipping away at the bucket list. Let's see what's on there. So, hopefully this kind of stirred up some thought, gave you some grist for your mill, things to talk about with people. Check other people. Notice the people who are the most habitual in your world. See if you can introduce a little bit of change into their life. Be nice. Be nice. No hiding their coffee cup. So, have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. And again, tomorrow is the Unity Intention Collective. So, if you would like to join us for a half an hour of sending good energy to our nation and to Mother Earth, feel free to join us. Just send me the word unity to Bonnie at empowermentandpurpose.com. See you tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye bye.